This video is brought to you by
Cool Grain Clothing. We done gone worldwide and we coming straight out of Baltimore. Come on down, shop with us at 215 West Saratoga Street. And if you can't come and shop with us in person, go online right now at coolgrainclothing.com and make your purchase. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you ain't cool and getting the green, you're in the way, and that's just basic.
What's going on, YouTube, fam? This your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. For the day one, fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, feel free to share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. Before I get into the story, I want to give a special shout out to Miss Antoinette Boyd for always supporting the channel. We definitely appreciate your love and support. With that being said, let's get right into the video. When people are out here dating, looking to get into a real relationship and settle down, it might come a time where they have to make a life-changing decision. If someone they are feeling and checks off everything on the marriage material list has kids, now you have to think to yourself, do I really want to be a step parent? Some people will say my kids had me and that other parent, so it will not be any issues. But in all reality, even if the person you are into has a great co-parenting relationship, once you step into the picture, you will become a step parent by default. Some are okay with stepping up to the challenge. They love the man or woman they are with and choose to accept everything that comes with them, even if that means kids. Others might not be so quick to step up to the plate because it could play out so many different ways. Depending on the ages of the kids, how that other parent, if they are around, feel about them having a step parent, even the person you are in a relationship with. They might say, yeah, you can discipline them and be a parent figure until you do that. Then they feel some kind of way. And once the kids get older and start feeling themselves, it's hard to accept disrespect from somebody that's not biologically yours. But you also have some good solid relationships with some kids and their step parents. Maybe they have been in the picture since they were young and that other parent might not be around. To the point, that's all they really know. But I hear people say all the time, pointing out the fact a child will never fully respect a step parent as their real parent. No matter what you do, the love might seem like it's there, but your actions will be criticized a little differently. And in some cases, that might very well be true. And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we'll be taking it right outside the city to the state's capital, Annapolis, Maryland, to discuss the case of a man who hired his homie as a hitman to get rid of his stepfather. Back in March 2020, 49-year-old Leslie Saunders was trying his best to navigate life. He had some ups and downs, like many of us trying to make it day by day, and he had struggled with substance abuse for years. But that never stopped Leslie from his plans of wanting to be a family man. He had been in a long-term relationship with a woman who we will call Lisa for over 20 years. It's not clear if the couple had kids together, but Leslie was a stepfather to Lisa's kids for years, including her then 31-year-old son, Thomas Smith. Some say their relationship started off good. He taught Thomas how to play baseball when he was young and was a father figure. And even though struggling with addiction, Leslie never left Lisa's side or the kids and was the man of the house. Friends and family described the couple's decades together as a roller coaster, up and down. One minute they were in love, other times they were cussing and fighting. And most felt Leslie's addiction kept him in mood swings and played a part, in which his stepkids saw a lot of the fighting growing up. But now he was trying to get it right and was focused on being sober. On March 15, 2020, Leslie and Lisa started the day off on bad terms and would get into a verbal argument. That same day, for unknown reasons, she was rushed to a local hospital. When Thomas found out his mother and stepfather had been fighting again, that upset the man. Tired of Leslie feeling like for years he had been stressing his mother out, he decided to do something about it, calling one of his little homies from around the way. At the time, 21-year-old Michael Gibson. He told Michael he was going to pull up on him and he had some work for him to do. Thomas drove and picked up Michael. After making a few calls to see where his stepfather was at, he found out he was at a local apartment complex. He pulled up and Michael got out the whip and followed Leslie until he walked in the cut. After that, he confronted the man and over 19 shots went off. And Michael ran back to the car and they fled the scene. Police was called about 6:30 p.m. to shots fired. When they arrived, they found Leslie laying on the ground, suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. And unfortunately, he was pronounced gone on the scene. At first, nobody knew who could have wanted to hurt the man, who seemed to get along with everybody in the community. A heavily watched area, police soon got surveillance footage. It showed the whole complex, in which they saw a man getting out of the car before approaching Leslie. Seconds later, that's when the shots went off. One of the detectives on the case instantly knew who the person was from previous run-ins, Michael Gibson. Plus the streets was talking and stating it was a paid hit coming from Leslie's stepson, Thomas. A few weeks later, through a search of phone records, it was confirmed. Michael was contacted by Thomas that day after Thomas' mother had been taken to the hospital. He told him, like, yo, I got $3,200 for you to catch this body. I got $2,000 now and the rest after the fact. Police also now had video showing Michael being picked up by Thomas in the same car and fleeing the location of the shooting. With that, both men was tracked down and taken into custody, charged with first-degree murder. As the case started making its way to court, the courtroom was divided, with Miss Lisa, her kids, and family, and Leslie's family. Prosecutors pointed to Thomas as a coward who paid somebody to do his dirty work after being mad that day that his mother and stepfather had an argument. They claimed even though he didn't pull the trigger, he made the fatal call. But Thomas and his attorney argued Leslie had been tormenting the family and kids for years, claiming the man was verbally and physically causing harm, and prior to the shooting had been making threats to the family, and even flashed a gun at Thomas. Lisa tried to verify her son's claims by stating her and Leslie's relationship had been toxic for years, but his family confirmed, yes, the man had an addiction, but was getting clean and was always a working family man, wasn't violent, and always was there for her and the kids. Michael was pointed to as a hitman who, with no regard for human life, hit a stranger for just $3,200. In the end, Michael entered a guilty plea for first-degree hit, and at 23 years old, was sentenced to life in prison, all suspended by 80 years. Thomas entered an Alford plea, maintaining his innocence, but accepting the state's evidence was sufficient. He was sentenced to 25 years in prison. Rest in peace to Leslie. I send my prayers and condolences to his family. I'm not sure if Thomas was telling the truth, and for decades, Leslie gave the family and his mother the blues, and he just had enough, or if he just got tired of his mother stressing about his stepfather and thought he was helping by getting him out the way. But this is probably every step-parent's worst nightmare. You step up to the plate for a kid that's not yours. Try to be there for them and show them love. But because you're not perfect and have flaws, now they resent you. When that real parent probably never even took the time, or probably are a lot worse off than you will ever be. Because when you are in the house 7 days a week, 365, choosing to be a step parent, kids can now come to a conclusion and judge easier than them saying they're other biological parent just for the weekend or summers. As far as Michael is concerned, bro crashed all the way out. I get it, he was young, but I would have told old boy, like, yo, you gotta handle your own dirty work. $3,200 is not even enough to go on a run with. Definitely not enough to serve a life sentence. But I want to leave this one open. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the situation. And are you yourself a step parent? If so, how do you deal with the kids? Even the relationship with their mother or father. Do you discipline them, keep them out the way of y'all arguments? Or for the people that won't never be a step parent, let me know why and what's your reservations. Or does it just depend on the circumstances? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, man, this was a crazy story. Rest in peace to Leslie. But I ain't gonna talk too much more about this one. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. Y'all already know it's all love, fam. It's another episode of the Baltimore Way. It's your boy Tony 2 times. I'm out.